The video for March 9th, 2017 is titled, "The Cabal Seems to Hate Trump." After a night of really strange dreams, I was unsure, waking up for the third time, what to focus on in my next video. Trying to make sense of the dreams is at least as difficult to me as trying to make sense of the insane world we inhabit. Things are really confusing, and I'll bet I'm not the only one. One of the confusions that keeps grabbing my attention concerns the many reports I get about the cabal hating Donald Trump. While some of the polls indicate a fairly strong support base, others reveal how desperate the so-called elite seem to be in regard to his presidency. Some say it's because he's not in their club, while others seem to indicate there is a higher plan being unfolded step by step. To me, the question that concerns me most personally is simple. Will I live to see the fulfillment of promises I have held dear since childhood and adolescence? I wonder if we really are seeing the evil elite's final chapter coming to an end on Earth. Yeah, and I sat here for a good while pondering what to talk about and wondering how to even address the issue once I came up with a title and a blurb, where to go with it. Because as I said, last night was a night of really strange dreams. Just one of them involved that I was painting 5 things, and I don't know why 5, but there were 5 things, and the first 3 came out a certain color. And bear in mind, I'm painting these from the same bucket of paint. And then the 4th one came out another color, and the 5th one came out yet another color, and the person who had hired me to do the job was furious at me for changing the colors, but I wasn't changing them. And I said, just don't pay me. And I just walked away. You know, that's just one of the weird dreams that I had in the middle of the night. But the question keeps coming back again and again and again with the emails people send me and the articles that they draw my attention to. It keeps coming back to this battle between the so-called establishment with Obama and the Clintons and the Bushes against Donald Trump. Now, they say he's not an insider, yet how could he become as wealthy as he became without having some kind of connections? That's a question that I don't know the answer to. It doesn't seem plausible to me that the elite would allow anyone to even run for office on a major party ticket unless he was part of their club. Yet they have, you know, it's obvious that they are furious at him, and the mainstream media, with the exception of Fox, maybe a little bit, but I think they just play the alternate game of being an alternate voice or appearing to be an alternate voice. But I don't know who's in their club and who's not. But some of the reports indicate that some of these high-level cabal people are being rounded up and arrested and taken off planet. One report indicated that some of them escaped to the only remaining underground base of the Draconians, that particular article called them, or the Dracos. Again, there's so many reports out there that reveal confusion. So if you are feeling confused, as I am, it's no wonder. Confusion is in the air. You know, when I was younger and through most of my life, I thought I knew how things were going to spin out. I thought by 2012, the game was over and we were going to be living in what I would call the kingdom of heaven on earth. Of course, that didn't happen. It hasn't happened yet. it's gone into overdrive, so to speak, as far as the disruption caused by our governments. There's been a lot of things happening that just simply don't make sense. Some people say, well, we're entering or we're in the tribulation, which is a 7-year period that certain segments of Christian interpretation indicate that we're either going to go through the whole tribulation, or half of it, or be rescued before it begins. Well, we haven't been rescued before it begins, and for some people, the tribulation began a long time ago. For the Islamic countries of the world, in Palestine, which it's rightly called. I mean, it's the Palestinians that have lived there, not the Jews. And to call it Israel is a misnomer, and it's a fabrication, and it's the atheistic club of the Zionist Jews that have been in charge of the whole thing for such a long time. So again, there's so many things to me that are confusing. So if you're feeling the confusion, welcome to the club. I'd like to see, as I said in the blurb, the fulfillment of the promises of a kingdom of heaven on earth. And I'd like to see that happen while I'm still alive. I'm 70 years old. Thankfully, my health does seem to have taken a turn for the better after my calamity with open heart surgery and almost dying a year before last, and then having my home stolen last year. I've gone through some major changes in my life that certainly pulled the rug out from under me. But I'm hanging in there, and I'm still feeling, fairly good. But trying to feel optimistic is something that I no longer give myself. I can't just give myself permission to feel optimistic, because I simply don't know. I guess that's the word for that, is agnostic. I don't know. I mean, the things that I used to believe were true, I challenge them even in my own mind. I don't want other people to challenge them to me and try to convince me there is no God. But I know something is amiss, because we've certainly not seen things unfold the way that I thought from childhood the Bible indicated was the truth, and other books that I read and other things that I studied. I felt that we were in the end times, and this was the conclusion of the whole thing. And I hope, as I said in the blurb, that we really are seeing the evil elite's final chapter coming to an end on earth. I'd like to see this wickedness and these lies and this empowerment of a horrific leadership group. I'd like to see that brought to an end, and I'd like to see humanity liberated and set free. And whatever role Trump is playing, obviously, if he's so hated by the establishment, he must be doing something that's good. Is he opening the doors to allow real change to take place in the United States? Because as it goes in the United States, it will go to the rest of the world. We are representative of a vision of equality among men and women, people on earth, that has nothing to do with religion, and has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that we are all created by God and in God's image. Whatever that God is, I'd like to still believe that God is a just God, a loving God, and has a good purpose and a good destination for us to reach. And I'm hoping and praying that my life has not been lived in vain, and that I will, in fact, see the trump card being played, the evil cabal being brought down, and the kingdom of heaven being established on earth with peace and goodwill toward all men and women. Thank you for listening, and namaste.